All right, so now let's talk about some Jedi mind tricks that you can use to absolutely control the call before you ever even get on it. These are specifically designed so that you can come out swinging on every sales call that you take. So let's go through the three core pieces that you want to make sure that you have in place for every single call. Those three key pieces are tonality, energy, and state. Now, what do we mean by these three things? What does this mean? These are all prior, right? These are things we want to set prior to every call. All right. Now, let's start with state. What does that mean? This means the state of mind you are in for your body, your mind, and everything else. This can contain confidence levels. All right. And we've talked about in a previous video, listening to the triage before the sales call, listening to some testimonials that you have so that you can remember that you kick ass, so that you can remember why people should want to buy your product. You need to have that confidence. You need to have that energy. You need to have that clarity of mind. Now, different people will set their states in different ways. Okay. Some people will tell you to get some smelling salts. Some people will tell you to create what they call an NLP, an anchor. All right. So that you remember that good feeling. So, when you're in the zone, if you've played any sports before, or if you've ever, really good at answering questions, or you just feel like one day you just absolutely kicked ass. That's what's called being in the zone. But what that really is you're in just a perfect state to create the outcome you want to create. You have no brain fog, so you're getting the answers a lot quicker, right? You have no energy deficiency, so you've actually got that going. You've got no confidence issues, so that when somebody asks you, can you solve this problem or prove it to me, show it to me, you have no issue explaining it in a way that shows them that you're super confident that your solution matches and solves their problem. Okay, so again, to do this, how do we do this? Well, the easiest way to do it is through memory recall, right? It's through sitting here, closing your eyes, allowing yourself to exist and remembering the last time you were in the zone, the last time you had a really good sales call where you just absolutely crushed it. And if you've never crushed one before, fine. Remember the last time somebody sold you. What was it like? Envision the other person that you're trying to sell on the other side of the table. Envision remember what it felt like to sell that person, to explain how awesome your product was, to have them believe how awesome that product was. Create that by actually going through that process, by flowing through it with yourself, and get yourself back to the state of mind where you know you're going to kick ass. So again, the easiest way to do this is to sit and remember, put yourself into a state of remembering that, right? So what do I mean by that? Sit and remember a time when you kicked ass on a sales call and closed the deal. When you had confidence, when the other person or the person on the other end was all in, was listening clearly to every word you said, was hanging on to the solution you were providing them. Putting yourself in this state will then allow you to do the next thing that we're talking about here, which is energy. All right. Energy comes from a few different places. And number one, you need to have good energy. Okay. Without good energy, the next step that we're going to talk about, tonality, starts to fall. All right. Without good energy, confidence doesn't really come through. I'm talking like this to you and you're asking me, can you solve the solution? You're like, yeah, maybe we could solve it, right? That energy comes through as a lack of confidence, as a lack of expertise, as a lack of control over the conversation. So if you want to be a Jedi, you want to have these Jedi mind tricks to be able to come out really absolutely swinging on these calls, then you need to have your energy levels up. Now, this doesn't mean some people will tell you just come in and talk like this and be super pumped up. No. On a sales call, you need to also learn to shut the hell up, right? And to listen to people and not just be vomiting words all the time. You need to know how to control your energy, but you need to have it. And the difference that you can probably pick up on right now, you hear me raising my tonality and my energy, and it's making you pay attention, and then I'm lowering it back down, but I'm still strong with my energy. And there's two things going on there. There's energy and there's tonality. And we'll get into the tonality in a second. but that energy comes across, that excitement can come across, and it sets the tone to be able to get all of the rest of what you're saying to them and have them be excited about it and have them want to actually close, right? Buy your shit. And with energy, then of course, like we're saying, comes tonality. All right. And there's different kinds of tonalities to come across. There's anger, excitement, right? The person who's coming at and yelling at you and saying, hey, listen. And then there's the one where it slows down, where you're hanging on every word that I say because I've slowed it. I've put a little more bass into my voice, and it pauses every now and then between the words, allowing you to hang on those words, to listen intently to it. And when you combine different things like yelling and then also like this, it grabs their attention and it pulls them in. And there's a few main tonality pieces, all right? There's high energy, grab their attention. There's low hypnotic bass. And then there's the presentation one, where it's okay, I'm talking with force. My words are hitting so that you'll hear them and listen. Understanding how to use those three different pieces of tonality in any sales call, in any given piece, is really going to be key to you being able to succeed, to you being able to control the conversation. So what we're talking about here is Jedi mind tricks, right? Shit that allows you to control the direction of a conversation, to control the outcome of a conversation without having to do anything but understand these different little tricks, these different little hacks, with the other person not even knowing what's going on, because you're using everyday conversation stuff. You're using stuff that you don't even realize, but you're using it strategically now because you know about it, right? So what are we talking about here? Again, controlling and setting your state before every call. Get yourself back into a zone where you're going to crush it. That last time you absolutely crushed a sale, you could not lose. You've now got yourself back in that headspace. You're on the call, you're fully confident, you're ready to go. You're controlling your energy. You have to get up and do 100 push-ups before the call. Do it. If you got to get up and do some jumping jacks, you got to scram around. If you've been sitting all day, you got to do something. Get your energy up before you get on that call. And then finally, you're using those two things to control your tonality, and understanding the three sets of tonalities that I went over briefly and how you can use them to direct and control a conversation. Guys, if you put these things into use correctly, if you make this stuff work, you go from being a Padawan to a Jedi Master in no time flat. So take a moment, digest this information, sit with it, rewatch it a couple of times, this one and the one that Rahul went over for the research and the testimonials. Prepare yourself to be a master on every call, and you will not be able to fail. Let's get some shit done. Let's digest this information, and I'll see you on the next video.